Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Monday. We are here. We're queer and we're proud. Oop, wrong channel. This is the Howard channel. I thought we were on OutQ. We're here and we're proud.
We're not queer?
No. I know Oprah's not gay. I've been watching these clips on her website of Oprah behind the scenes.
Uh-huh.
And they're quite fascinating. You get to see Oprah and her staff behind the scenes. And it seems that everybody on Oprah's staff is fatter than Oprah. Like the women are all 9 million pounds. And
yeah.
It seems like I've always had this suspicion that Oprah doesn't do all that much work. It seems like that's a producer show where they pull the topic, they get the guests, they get everything lined up from segment to segment, and Oprah marches in every day and does the show.
Right.
And gets the glory. It's a very, very strange thing, and I think these people have a lot of pressure. They all apparently are afraid of Oprah and not pleasing Oprah. I really am taking notes because I need to...
she's running the organization the right way, right?
Yeah, like I should march in like a diva and then...
Is it better to be feared or loved? That's what you have the question of.
Everyone else around here, it doesn't seem all that neurotic, and
They
I'm
love
neurotic.
you, they don't fear you.
No, and I'm neurotic about the show. Everybody else is like, don't worry about it. Howard will get it done. No guests, no problem.
Ooh.
I fear them. So our staff isn't under the same pressure Oprah's is. Oprah's staff is like two of the talent bookers. They had to get J.K. Rowling's on the show. J.K. Rowling's the woman, of course, who wrote Harry Potter.
Yes.
This was Oprah has to interview her. And, I understand why.
Look, I haven't had her yet. Where is she?
And J.K. Rowling's has hit books, and then J.K. Rowling's used to be like homeless or something.
And she doesn't do interviews and the whole
Right.
thing, yeah.
So, and they're all like, we have to get this for Oprah. We have to. I think I almost have J.K. Rowling. I mean, these two fat women are just, they weren't that fat, but they have a lot of fat executive producer types. It's wild. And then Oprah apparently shows up in her sweatpants. Like she comes to Harpo completely undone, and her sweatpants are way too tight, and her ass and her fucking legs are thick, and
oh dear,
it's wild stuff. We shoot all that stuff behind the scenes. I called Doug Goodstein and go, our fans would love to see more of that stuff, just like Oprah's fans like to see what goes on behind the scenes. Like, for example, on our show, if you ever hear Will Murray's side of the pre-interview for some people, you don't even have to hear the other person on the phone. That would be a bonus.
Yeah, just to hear Will asking the questions?
Yeah, like Will will be doing a pre-interview with someone saying, well, how far was that tube up your ass? And, it's just weird stuff.
He gets to interview the most interesting people.
The other day I was in the hall and I just kind of poked my head around a corner and I was watching Will, Jason, and John Hine. They were all having a big discussion and Will was holding court and there's a whole talk show going on out there.
Wow.
What happens and
nobody's capturing it?
Well, no. But you know what it is. You got to have a lot of resources. You got to have cameras on
everywhere and with everyone, yes.
Yeah, I mean, you could just follow Benji, Fred. Our fans would love it. I've always said that about Howard TV. I think that's the next step for Howard TV, that we should, I thought from the beginning we should have reality shows like, I mean, I'm always fascinated watching you in the hallway after the show. You're busy, you're running around.
I am not really in the halls anymore.
I see you run out and then you charge out. I'm always like, wonder where she's going. She seems to be on
I'm usually going somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to know where you go. Then I'd like to hear you interviewed about where you just went. I mean, I'm curious. And Fred, he's a man of mystery. I don't know what he does.
Nobody knows what Fred does.
He sits here after the show, and he's doing something. I don't know what.
But he disappears, too.
I always said,
where does he go?
You could just keep a camera on Fred. That would be very good for me for the whole show. Just watch him. People are fascinated with Fred.
And, well, they should be.
Yeah, I mean, I'd watch a show where Benji's just getting ready for work in the morning, because today his head looks more bald than ever, and he's more wet and disgusting than ever. Like he just came over and said something, and I looked over and I went, "Oh my God,
completely wet."
His head is dripping. His hair is almost all gone.
It's 20 degrees outside. And he's sweating.
How does he manage that?
Is it because you wear that ski cap that your head gets hot, or is that why you sweat, or you just took a shower? Or?
I think it's because I had just taken a shower. Yeah.
But I mean, you come over here after you take a shower. You're out of the shower for quite some time. Like, at least
you'd think you'd dry off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'd think.
It's weird. Do you just sweat a lot?
I don't know. I'm not sweating now at all.
Yeah, no, now you're all right. I guess he dried off.
Yeah.
What does he do, Fred? Does he wipe himself down?
I think he just air dries.
Do you have a towel? Do you use a towel
when you put a newspaper out in the sun?
At home? Yeah, I use a towel.
That's
You
weird.
think he gets
Not a
dressed
lot on my head,
completely
though.
wet?
I mean, how can you be so?
You can't be that wet and go down the street. I mean, I take a shower every day. By the time I'm ready to blow dry my hair, it's almost dry on its own.
Yeah, right.
So,
Benji's really losing his hair too.
Yeah.
That was weird. Like, like what happened? Like all of a sudden, it's like all out.
I think it's.
I think it's.
I
Let
know.
me see. Take your hat off. It's almost all gone.
I'm really. Yeah.
Let me see. Big
Every
deal.
day I look up things about balding cures and.
Nah. Wow.
Yeah.
You're not going to go with Sal and get the
Propecia?
Propecia
about
off
it.
the internet?
Yeah.
I think you're waiting too long.
I know.
You know, I think it's. You know what, man? You're
But you
kind
don't look bad that way.
you don't
Maybe you
look
should
bad.
just go for the shaved head look.
I might.
No, don't shave. You know what? I like this look because if he shaves his head, he's gonna look like Uncle Fester.
Oh, that's
know what
not
I
a good
mean?
look.
I think you could get a little more hair back with that Propecia, and then you could just do like a Caesar haircut.
Would you ever wear a toupee? You would never wear it.
Yeah, if it looked right.
Yeah.
If
Why
it
would
looked
he do
right.
that?
I mean,
you?
a lot of those guys, you guys, I'm like, my God, that guy has such great thick hair, and then you guys are all like, oh, that's a toupee.
You know what?
can't
I don't
tell.
notice all the time. There was a
Yeah.
guy that everyone was very keen on the fact that he wore a wig. You know, he wore a toupee. I didn't know. And I'm thinking of this guy. I mean, I really didn't know, and I'm embarrassed I didn't know.
I wonder if we're thinking of the same guy, because one of the guys we worked with at K-Rock, I was like, he was in his late 50s, and he just had this
Oh, no,
big-
him I knew.
Oh, I was like, how does he have
Everybody
such
knew.
great hair?
Everybody knew him. You really were fooled by him?
Stevie Wonder.
Yeah, I
knew
didn't always
that was a-
understand why his hair was
Stop it.
askew sometimes to the side. But,
Right. No, there's a guy I know. You don't know him. I'm thinking about who wears the toupee. And he even had like different toupees to show like when he got a haircut. You know what I mean? Like he had the whole
Like
thing
he had
down.
a whole
That's elaborate.
rotation he would do, so
Yeah.
he would look like his hair was naturally growing, then he'd get it cut, and it was growing, and then he'd get it cut.
And then people would say, people come up to me all of a sudden and go, "Can you believe so-and-so's toupee? I mean, what the fuck is he thinking?" And I go, "Oh, yeah, it's horrible."
But you didn't know.
But I didn't know. So sometimes it does fool me, but you know what? You don't want to go that route because, first of all,
the maintenance.
the maintenance.
And Benji's not a guy who's going to
No.
maintain it.
no, his is going to be all a big mess. And you know what? You don't look bad like this. You really don't.
But that's why I wear a hat. A hat's like a toupee.
Right.
It keeps, you know.
That's cool.
It looks
Try and get a cooler hat. I saw a bald guy I know, was wearing like a really cool hat.
Like a Kango or something.
No, it was like
Rock a beret.
No, not a rock a beret. He wore he wore like what you're wearing, like a ski cap, but it was like a little less constructed. It wasn't so.
But you can't wear what Benji's wearing right now all the time.
No, only in the winter. In the winter,
Yeah.
you'll look like you have a full head of hair. In the summer, it's hard to pull off. But you know what? Fuck it, man. You look fine.
Thanks.
I mean, you don't look fine, but you're not gonna look any better with hair. I remember when you had hair, you didn't look all that good.
Yeah. But you always have hope when you don't have it.
Hair
You know?
maybe was not your thing.
Fuck it. I'm just so glad I have my hair. You know, I posted a picture of myself on my Facebook account, and all my friends wrote in, especially the friends I grew up with. Are you getting younger? Are you like how are you defying the odds here? Well, but you know what it is? I'm lucky. I have a full head of hair, and I have very little gray.
Right.
You know, compared to people my age, I've got some gray if you look close. But I mean, it's pretty much dark, thick
Right,
hair.
it's still a lot of dark hair.
And that gives me my youthful appearance. On top of the fact I stay relatively thin.
Uh-huh.
You know, especially, you know, if I hide that little belly of mine, which I can in clothes. The trick is to wear baggy shit. Baggy is good. Tight, no good. Tight, not good for most people. Baggy.
No, there are very few people who can do the tight thing.
When you wear baggy, nobody knows what's doing. That's the way to go. Trust me on this. I'm no fashion expert. I see people who are supposedly fashion experts. Too tight. Got to go baggy. Listen to me. Unless you're a fucking supermodel. Like Beth will wear those skin-tight fucking
Right,
outfits.
yeah, those Harvey Leger bandage dresses and
Yeah.
all of that.
She wears all that stuff. And
Yeah.
it's like, well, yeah, good. You should. Everyone else, no.
Right.
keep away from that shit.
Everyone else, don't wear a bandage unless you have an injury.
By the way, Lisa G, I didn't get to her. Lisa, do you want to come in and do a quick rundown on what's happening in the Howard 100 News? Let's hear that, and then we'll get back to all the action.
Lisa Glassberg takes shits at work.
Yeah.
Take shits at work.
Singing my own theme song.
Go ahead. What do you got for us, Lisa G. from the Howard 100 News?
Well, Howard, according to Bravo TV's millionaire matchmaker, Patty Stanger, you are wrong about older women finding a guy. She says odds are not in your favor statistically. There are way more women than men here in the United States.
What am I wrong about?
What did you say?
What did I say?
You said that it's easy to find a guy, and that when you were talking to me, you said I'm being too picky.
Well, you are. I mean, you're a very good-looking girl. And I heard the guys on the wrap-up show talking about you, and I was waiting for you to go in, but you didn't.
What were they saying?
Well, they were just talking about how good-looking Lisa is and stuff, but a lot of guys don't get a vibe from her that she really wants a man, but she only wants a man like me or something, like who's super, super successful. That was basically the rap I heard.
So she could have some broken down wreck of a guy.
Right.
I could have Ted Williams.
You could get him easy. No, but I think Lisa, you know what, my theory on Lisa is, quite frankly, she's not such an enigma to me. I kind of feel that Lisa is a girl who's very satisfied in her everyday life. She doesn't need a man to complete her. If she found a guy who was like really cool and she could, you know, kind of vibe with him, she'd be with him. But if that doesn't come along, if he's not perfect, then why fuck up her life?
Right.
Do I have that pretty much correct?
Well, he doesn't have to be perfect, but I am very
But you
happy.
don't want to screw up your life just to have a guy. Some guy who's going to drive you crazy.
Yeah, no.
Wait, Gary was talking about you. You sound like a piece of chicken.
What did he say?
He's like, well, I don't want to say anything because I don't want to get in trouble with HR, but I turned around the other day and I saw Lisa's ass and it looked really good. Benji was saying something about he'd go out with her, but he wouldn't have sex with her. And I'm like, yes,
What?
No, that's not what I said.
What did you say again?
I said I find her absolutely physically attractive.
Right.
I think you guys are wrong about her. I think she's perfectly happy with a regular guy. But I just said we wouldn't be right for marriage. I like her a lot, but I wouldn't pursue marriage with her. We're not the right.
Isn't that sad? Like Benji would.
Benji won't marry you. I'm sorry.
I think a lot of guys would be very happy with you.
Have you had any more depressing news than the fact that Benji wouldn't consider marrying you? I mean, come on. Do you think Benji would be a slam
Look,
dunk for
I
you,
consider
Lisa?
you lucky. Benji wouldn't marry you.
But poor Lisa's probably like,
I wouldn't marry Robin either. I mean, it just.
And that's why I
more
consider
good news.
myself lucky.
My shoes would not
I
be
like
on
you,
your
and I think
feet.
you're
I'm
attractive,
lucky
but-
that you wouldn't marry me.
More good news.
I would not put my ski hat on your bead.
There's nothing more than for a woman to be told by an overweight, sweaty, bald guy that you're not good enough for him.
That's not what
you.
I'm saying.
Yes, you are.
Thank you,
No,
thank
no, it's
you.
not.
You're saying you're not totally overwhelmed with them. They're not good enough for you to marry.
That's not what I'm saying
That's
at all.
exactly what you're saying.
No, it's not. I'm saying I said there's some. Listen, you.
Like
you
Lisa
got-
and Robin aren't good enough for you
That's
to marry.
absolutely not true. I think they're wonderful people. I like them. But there's people that
I
you're
will
more
not share
compatible
my
with, that you
sweaty
have a lot of
balls with
fun
them.
with on
Yeah,
a daily
you don't
basis.
dig them enough.
Well,
We're not fun.
So the people that you didn't
Benji's
marry,
fun.
the people that you didn't settle with when you were dating, they weren't good enough for you.
You know what? You two are official losers now.
That's
Benji
right.
rejected
We're
you.
not fun.
You're not fun.
Well, I'm rejecting you because no jeans fit you in the store when we went jean shopping.
Okay.
Well, there you go.
Forget it.
Good for you.
Thank you.
I told you she was pretty.
You know what? I'm not upset about being rejected about
Oh, you should be.
I'm not upset
Because
at
that's
all.
about as bad as it gets.
I am very proud
This reminds
that
me-
Benji wouldn't have me.
When I would go to parties in high school, and these enormous fat chicks would not even speak to me. Like I went there because I was like, well, all right, I'll settle.
I'll be the piece of ass here.
Yeah, you know what? I'll just settle because I need some female attention. And then I'd go and I'd be totally ignored, and like sit on a couch and smoke cigarettes while all my friends spoke to these chicks. I actually went over to a group of these big, enormous fat women. They looked like Oprah and her producers, and these girls wouldn't talk to me.
Wow.
Yeah, that's how creepy I must have been. Anyway, Lisa, go ahead. What else do you have in the Howard 100 News? I'm
Well,
depressed.
Patty says there are 5 single women to every guy here in New York City, not to mention that most men are looking for someone younger.
Mm-hmm.
And she suggests that older women be more proactive, like go to the suburbs to look for guys if you live in the city.
God. It's like
Where are
a
you?
hunting expedition.
I'm in the desert looking for men.
It's man season in the
Let's go
suburbs.
to
Where do you
Afghanistan.
go on Long Island? Look for most of Long Island is mostly like married couples. It's mostly bedroom communities.
I guess you got to find a widower or a divorcee.
That sounds good.
How about you can inherit all his kids.
I'll move to Boca and make a casserole for a
I guess
widower.
we go. You know where I would go, girls? Cancer wards. You marry a guy, he's got money, he's not going to be around that long,
And you see him off
and they're hard
in
up.
a nice way.
Isn't that just terrible news for single women? Like,
Go to the suburbs.
Go to the suburbs. Go to a cancer ward. Go to a desert. We understand there's very few.
Well, they always
women.
have Alaska. If you're really desperate, there's supposedly no women up there.
Yeah, Jupiter. Where was that planet that Harry Mudd took other women to?
Oh, God. I forget the name.
It was a
of
mining planet on Star Trek.
What about a grief counseling group? Just lie.
Yeah. How about AA? You know, you go there and.
Oh, yeah. A lot of people find love at the rehab places.
I like women who go to church to meet guys. Like you're going to meet a fucking, those are all mental case guys, what are they doing?
I mean, in the bar, there are mental cases. There are mental cases everywhere.
Just trust me, there's no normal guy going to church on Sunday.
Can I admit what I did?
What'd you do?
I went to a Shabbat dinner.
Yeah.
When?
How'd that work out?
It was good food.
I know when you went. Shabbat. When'd
What
you go?
is Shabbat?
This weekend?
Years ago, no.
Oh. It's the Jews, that's their Sunday.
Oh, you mean
Friday night.
just the usual Sabbath dinner?
Right.
Okay.
She went to Shabbat dinner.
Sounds so depressing.
And I bet you the guys were really great.
Well, you mean it was a big gathering just for singles or something?
Kind of like that, yeah.
How bad was it?
It's pretty bad.
Yeah. Were the guys complete douchebags?
The thing is, I meet
And they
really
all-
great women there. I made a new friend.
And all the guys are like, they really think highly of themselves, like Benji. Like
Yeah, they were like
as a
Benji.
woman, I'd be sitting there going, Benji is so disgusting that, you know what? Maybe I'll settle for
Benji goes to the Shabbat
No, I'd
dinner.
be like, maybe I'll settle for a Benji. And then all of a sudden, Benji goes, I wouldn't consider you at all. Like, these guys at the Shabbat dinner are all princes, Like Benji.
You are not in my car.
That's not what it is.
I got a high opinion of myself.
I do have a high opinion of myself,
do.
but I also want to be with someone that we.
It's just very depressing for women to hear that you would reject them because
No, it's not. Look
you're
at
bottom,
him.
You're bottom of the barrel.
Robin, are there
Hook.
any wonderful guys that you're probably not compatible with?
Like it would be a
No, I would be compatible with
It
any
would be
wonderful
like the guy that Howard brought in the other day?
it would be a
Because he
huge,
went to
Who
church.
said he was wonderful?
it would be a
Why
huge,
was he a bad guy?
Benji, it would be a huge compromise for a woman to reduce herself to your level.
I don't think so, Howard.
And now you're saying you don't want them.
Right.
Robin, what was wrong with the guy Howard brought in? Why
I don't know
he wasn't
that
good
man.
enough for you?
I don't know him.
All right, Benji, thank you. All right. I don't want to get into
I know
that.
you.
I don't find you marriage material.
No, for me, I want someone that I.
Sorry, girls.
one tiger who can't be tamed.
Doesn't he remind you of all the guys at the Shabbat dinner, like very physically unimpressive and yet kind of like a prince?
Like stuck on himself.
Yeah, like wow, he's
Full of himself.
Yeah, it's like these guys on the beach with really big bellies. They strut around like, wow, I'm really handsome.
I'm a chubby Tarzan.
Meanwhile, women are wrapped in towels.
right. They don't want to be seen.
Yeah.
Even though they're fine, they just want to keep covered up. It's very depressing.
So, Lisa,
Yeah.
are you insulted by Benji's comment that he likes you and he's attracted to you, but you're not the marrying type in his
No, he is a typical guy. It's like what I told Howard, the guys on the beach with these huge pot bellies and they're rubbing their bellies like they're like, King Kong and they're hot. Doesn't surprise me at all. He's got a big ego. I think women could learn from the Benjis of the world. Doesn't matter how fat you are, if you have no hair, you got a big nose, if you're, a freak. If you just think you're hot, you're hot. And other people will think that too. So God bless Benji.
So Howard always says it's a man's world. It really is a man's world when guys can, sort of marry up, so to speak. They can get these girls or girlfriends.
Look at Benji's date from last year's Christmas party, Sarah. She's so cute. I mean, come on. And she got naked for him in the studio. And look at Robin. She's gorgeous. Guys should be knocking down her door.
But what about Benji? Where do you think he gets his ego from? Because he's on the show and he's a bit of a celebrity?
No, I don't think it has to do with that he works with Howard Stern. I mean, that adds to it, but I think most guys have big egos. And God bless them.
Now, what if Benji had said, I'm attracted to Lisa, and I would marry her. Would there be any sparks flying between you two? Is there any attraction coming from your end?
Oh, that's a good question. That's funny. No, because he sweats too much.
Not even those baby blue eyes, or the fact that he's very cerebral, very bright guy. He writes a lot of great lines, that Howard says.
Yeah, he is funny. Funny is good. You know what? I haven't even let myself go there. So can you get back to me tomorrow?
I see the window is still slightly cracked open, so Maybe
That's
Benji
funny.
should-
I did go clothes shopping with him. That was fun. I felt like, oh, we're married. We're going clothes shopping.
Did you see his calves when he changed into a
Can I
different
tell you
outfit?
something? he walked out of the dressing room wearing his boxer shorts, but they looked like old-fashioned gym shorts. And I went, "What are you wearing?" I couldn't even tell they were boxers. You know, it was so funny. He's crazy. Probably he makes women laugh, and women love a great sense of humor, so that's definitely working in his favor.
So Benji, do you feel bad at all about the way things came across when you were talking about Lisa G this morning?
It's so, yeah, like I do, because it's so funny. Like everyone always says I'm so shticky, and maybe I don't know if they were just trying to be funny and saying like I was thinking that I'm better than Lisa G, or I'm better than Robin, or they're not good enough for me. I think it's a very natural thing that there's some people that you think are great people, but you don't think that they're. I think potentially both of us would be happier with other people. I don't think I'd be miserable being married to Lisa, I like being with her. I think we would have a lot of fun together. But I think personality-wise, there's women that I'm more compatible with than her for marriage. And I'm sure vice versa too. But I think a lot of guys would absolutely love being married to her.
But Lisa takes that as a personal insult.
Does she really? I can't
when I
believe.
spoke with her, her vibe seemed to suggest, it's a man's world where someone, you're a typical guy who might not be, super hot himself, thinking he can get this attractive woman, and that's what she said. When
I would love to talk to her one-on-one on camera about it. You want to do it? Can we get her? Because it's just the most ridiculous thing in the world. I think she's physically desirable. I think she has a sweetheart. It's just, I don't get that at all. Like, are there guys that she doesn't think are great guys that just she knows aren't right for her for marriage? I mean,
that's a valid point.
Should we get her? Or
yeah,
is that,
to the newsroom.
Are you allowed to come?
Well, once we get to the newsroom, I can start.
All right.
Okay.
We'll see if she's up for it.
I'll meet you there.
All right. Greg told me you were offended by it, or.
No, I wasn't.
Oh, well, maybe I misread it. Like, do you like?
I wasn't offended. Where'd that come from?
Well, you said that
I said
a lot
all
of these
guys have big egos and women could learn.
But I don't understand what it has to do with ego. Because
you think Robin and I aren't good enough for you.
Is that really what you think?
Yeah,
Because
that's what you said.
I never said that. That's what Howard said. Because I don't.
We're not for you.
I don't think we're compatible for marriage. That doesn't mean you're not good enough for me.
Hold on, it's my dad.
All right.
No, I'm kidding. What?
Are there any guys that you think are great guys and you like them and enjoy them, but you don't think probably not right for you for marriage?
Yeah, probably.
And does that mean that they're not good enough for you?
Well, they're not good. That's a heavily loaded question because they're two separate categories: friend, girlfriend,
Right.
friend, marriage. So you think of me and Robin more in the friend category.
Yeah, but it's also, I don't think our personalities would be right for marriage. Do you?
Right? No, I don't.
Does that mean I'm not good enough for you? I mean, if that's what it means, it's fine. But
No, it's not good enough. It's just that it's wrong. You're wrong.
okay, so but why, when I say it, it means that you're not good enough for me? I never said that.
And now you're getting me all confused. Now I'm like getting into the Benji zone. I think you need someone who's 28
Okay.
and a stripper.
All right. Fine. Like I said, like Mary Lou Henner, I think she's in her mid or late 50s. And I might, if I knew her for 5 years, maybe there'd be things that we wouldn't be right for marriage. Hearing her talk for like the interview, I was like, this is a woman, the kind of personality I'd love to marry.
Right, so would I. She's a great personality.
So we should both like be emailing her.
No, she's great. I went, wow, I want to be her friend.
Okay,
But,
well, we're both looking to marry Mary Lou Henner if she's watching
In
this.
a guy version of that.
Or even the girl version.
I think you would be best suited for someone younger and have some kids.
It's not, but it's. Listen. I like you a lot. Like I've said it on camera, on radio. I'm physically attracted to you. I think if we went on dates,
But not
I'd have
enough.
fun. No, it's not. I said
Is this for behind the scenes, the new
I think if we
show?
went on dates, I would have fun. I think you would have fun. I enjoy you. I enjoy hanging out with you. I think potentially for marriage, though, there's other people that we'd both be much happier with. And I think there are a lot of guys would absolutely be perfect wife for, and they would love you as a wife.
Who?
As a specific type of guy, I think like a John Hine type of guy is more.
So don't you know any nice John Hine type of guys?
Most of the guys I know are married.
There you go.
But if and this may start a segment, I could definitely take you on the street or take you anywhere that you'd feel comfortable and find you guys that you would want to date.
Right, but I don't want to meet a stranger.
Okay.
Because nice people know nice people, so you're a nice person. If you
Thank you.
knew a nice person, that would be terrific. So I've been here 5 years now. Only one person has set me up, and that's Sal.
Right. Yeah.
So that's not a good average.
But I encouraged you a lot to go to dating events and.
Yeah, but
to put
it's too
yourself
young. It's too young for me.
All right.
I've said to you, if you tell me where to go, I'm more than open to. But you haven't come back with anything that's age
Well, I'm
appropriate.
saying let's go walk around the park. And
I don't want to meet a stranger.
But isn't everyone? What's that expression like?
Bashert?
No one's really a stranger. They're just a future
God.
friend.
Yeah, or an axe murderer.
Okay.
But thank you for
So
caring.
so that rules it out if they're an
I'm not
if they
gonna go
once
trolling
if they
the
once
street.
killed someone with an axe, they're
Right.
out forever.
Right, like my
Well,
grandmother said, if a guy tells you he's an axe murderer, believe him.
Have you had a guy tell you that?
No.
What do you say? Well, what do you do?
No, but like if someone says, I don't like to get close and personal with someone, that's not a good thing. Or one guy said to me, you know what, I just don't like to be in touch with people. Well, I'm not your gal.
Maybe we should go on a date.
No. Don't
Ben, scooch
suck
a
me
little
into
closer there. I want to see
Nah,
how
nah,
this looks
okay.
in frame. I just want to
If
see how.
Lisa feels comfortable with me scooching closer, I will.
No, stay right
Okay.
there. You're all sweaty.
Wait, that's such a lie. Am I sweaty at all?
A little.
Where? Show it.
You're shiny.
Okay, point it at the camera and then look on the camera, so people can judge.
You're a little shiny.